On November 8, 2009, a climate change conference was held in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, to bring attention to the quickest and most effective solution to global warming, the organic vegan diet. Titled Humanity's Leap to the Golden Era, Washington, D.C. Climate Change Conference, the event brought together experts of science and health, as well as international ambassadors, media members, and artists that included Ambassador Banny de Brum of the Republic of the Marshall Islands, Ambassador Jacques Cross of the Republic of Suriname, Ambassador Isbin Williams of St. Kitts Nevis, Dr. Stephen Schneider, lead scientist of the reports of the Nobel Prize-winning UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, Dr. Michael Greger, Director of Public Health and Animal Agriculture for the Humane Society of the USA, and author of Bird Flu, a Virus of Our Own Hatching, Dr. Ruby Lathon, Nutrition Policy Manager of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, Dr. Peter Carter, Director of the Canadian Association of Physicians for the Environment, and Dr. Noam Moore, Adjunct Professor of Physics at New York University. Distinguished speakers address such aspects as environment, health, lifestyle, and spirituality. In addition, engaging video messages on the need to address global meat consumption were contributed by esteemed figures including former Indian Environment Minister Maneka Gandhi, former European Parliament member Jens Holm, and leading American nutrition researcher Dr. T. Colin Campbell. The highlight of the afternoon was an informative question and answer session via video conference with the guest of honor, Supreme Master Ching Hai, who had graciously set aside her busy schedule to discuss the ways that humankind could transition to a brighter era. We now invite you to join us for Part 8 of the 10-part rebroadcast of the live video conference with Supreme Master Ching Hai, titled Humanity's Leap to the Golden Era, Washington, D.C. Climate Change Conference, on November 8, 2009, in Washington, D.C., USA.
The role of all wondrous animals and their presence on earth is to bring divine love to this planet. The animals are so close to God, we humans can hardly imagine. We hear about plenty of examples like the dogs that rescue disaster victims who otherwise would not have been found without their extraordinary abilities. You know, in Vietnam, people built some small temple along the coast, many of them, to worship the whales because they want to show gratitude to the whales. Many of the boat people have been rescued by whales from the stormy sea or from a capsized boat. The whales rescue them in number. Since time immemorial, the Vietnamese people always build temples in gratitude to the whales. And these are the true story. Not only they bless us invisibly, they also rescue people at sea. And this is very, very common in Vietnam. You go there, you see many whales temple. You still can talk to the people who still stay alive due to the whales rescue. I mean, the story is alive. It's not like a fairy tale or a legend. It is a living story still. Even recently. Yes. But sadly, they are still seen by some humans as seal fur or whale meat. But these two animals are some of the many animals who literally radiate love to balance our planet. As we being deluded more and more into the killing of the animals and destroying the environment, the atmosphere of our planet also being depleted of love and happiness. Therefore, these animals, they were born here in order to balance it, to help us to fill in the void of love that we lost through our inconsiderate actions. But sadly, we kill them. We kill our benefactor just because we are blind. We are blind spiritually, telepathically, and psychically, that we don't see who are friends and who are not. Sadly, the friends we can see, like the whales, the seals, but we don't recognize. But the enemies we don't see, but we listen to. That is the force of evil, the force of the negative in this world. We don't see the force, we don't see that power, we don't see it manifested, personified, but we listen to it daily. So we do many wrong things that we regret. Or at the time of death, we regret. Because at that time we can see whatever wrong things we do, just like watching cinemas. And we feel very sorry that we have done such things due to not knowing, due to being misled. So these animals, they are really our friends, they are our benefactor. But many of us kill them. If we can contact some of the best animal communicators, they will tell you that whales are the greatest love. They house the greatest love of the divine for our planet. Seals also. In one of the conference last time, I have told the audience about different quality of love of different animals, and whales and seals are one of the few, number one in loving power. Now, that's not me who say that. It is through meditation, and I have been informed like that. So, if we kill these beings, we really killing ourselves. We take out the balance that greatly needed at this time, especially at this time in our dire situation. Now, if we let them live, then they will be able to bring back to earth the powerful, unconditional love, like that of the mother for her child, and they do their noble mission knowingly. They knowingly do it. Second question, do the roles and relationship of animals with human beings deeply connect us further? Yes, of course, sir, of course. Yes. Because the animals are very pure. They are already connected with the higher source of the divine. So we can learn so much from them. The animal does not have to be large. It could be an ant, which is noted scientifically for his intelligence, or a rabbit. Rabbit is also a powerhouse of love, almost next to the whale, yes, for example. Or even a chicken. You may be surprised. There was a Finnish painter, who told us that when he was feeling down because his day didn't go well, the chickens in his backyard came and sat in front of him. And just by looking at them, he got a sudden energy boost and feel better. Yeah, try it yourself. Rescue some chicken from the battery farm and then try look at them. Thank you. Now, some people also report remarkable experiences with marine mammals like the dolphins, saying that just contacting them once in a while lifted them out of their depression or nervous breakdown even. And some researchers have even noted a shift in people's brain waves for the better, for more positive, following dolphin encounters. So this has been proven, with lasting changes that include more creativity and even strengthened immune system. Imagine that. Just contact them once a while. So, how is that animals are helping us to reach the golden era? It is through their unconditional, benevolent love and merciful nature, Mr. Cantor. I'm sure you know this, or at least you feel it. And their absolute forgiveness, no matter what humanity has done to them. You see, for example, the whale in Vietnam, the big whale that rescued the fishermen in Vietnam, they do know that these are fishermen. They do know that they kill fishes for a living, but they still rescue them at sea when the fishermen are in danger. You see, absolutely unconditional, unjudgmental. This is the love that we humans also house in our heart, but we have suppressed it because the substance that we took into our body doesn't help us to develop more of our divinity, but on the contrary, destroy it, or at least suppress it, damage it. So now we have to reclaim it again. Now, speaking of the quality and the unconditional love, I must say something about honoring this love from the animals. For all the generosity of spirit and blessings that they bring into our lives, how do we have the heart to kill them and eat them, enjoy their suffering? You must know this, Mr. Cantor, since you are already vegetarian. I appreciate that. God bless you. Thank you. For anyone who is not yet vegetarian or who has not understood why, please inform yourself of the unimaginable, utterly cruel and utmost inhumane treatment involved in meat and dairy production or fishing even, as well as lab experiments or the animal fur industry. If we really connect with the animals, or if we really don't shut down our innate feeling, we will also feel their suffering, which is caused almost exclusively by humans. So please, I ask you, go and find out what really happens to the animals in those slaughterhouses. I would call it mass murder house. If you do, it's likely that they will no longer end up on your plate. The unimaginable, horrendous treatment of the babies, baby cows even, baby seals, baby chicks, will make you shudder with horror. Even the egg industry has blood on its hands. If you would like more information, there is a show on the Supreme Master Television called Stop Animal Cruelty Program on Supreme Master TV at www.suprememastertv.com/stop-animal-cruelty, as well as other information concerning humans, animals, and saving our planet, etc. We don't like to think of ourselves as cruel, much less brutal, especially for something like a hamburger or a piece of bacon. But these are the facts. Animals are utterly cruelly mistreated day in and day out to feed the very industry that supplies all the meat consumed by humans. In news just a few days ago, an undercover video sponsored by the Humane Society of the United States recorded the treatment of baby calves, some barely a few days old. As these animals were being led to their murder, many of them are so weak by the bad treatment and the condition they live in that they could not walk or they're too young to walk. They were kicked, beaten repeatedly while laying down, and there were dosed with water to increase the pain of electrical shock, and even skinned alive. Can you imagine that we do these things? It may surprise you to know that this was a certified organic facility. It's not just ordinary animal farm. So now we know that even the animal products you think are somehow more healthy or eco-friendly, this is not the case at all. Please don't eat meat. It's too cruel. In another Discovery undercover recording, baby male chicks were being sent by the thousands down a conveyor belt to a giant meat grinder alive. Can you imagine the little chicks like this? So beautiful, so cute. And they do this. We humans do this to them. In this factory alone, over 150,000 of the tiny baby chicks are ground up alive every day for dogs' meat or whatever meat. All because the male chicks cannot lay eggs, so don't make profit for the industry, so they grind them alive. Can you imagine? If anyone do not believe in hell, please go and see these places. Then you will know hell exists right here on our planet. These factories also supply the so-called free-range eggs. Some people think that eggs do not require the loss of life, but they do, very much so. And then there are the horrifying conditions of the pigs, which are extremely clean animals, by the way, scientifically proven. But these intelligent, sensitive beings are locked in crates so small they can't even turn around all their miserable life. But the worst is their actual death process. You see, oh God, I have to tell you, but it's heart-wrenching. First, the pigs are stunned, often unsuccessfully, so leaving them still conscious when they are hung by the feet and cut open with a knife. In fact, they are still alive when they are next put into a vat of boiling water, with videos that have shown them still twisting in pain. Imagine if it's us. Imagine if it's our loved ones. Imagine if it is human. All this for a piece of meat, dead flesh that often causes even more diseases to humans. Not like it even helps us in any way. Is it really worth it? Tell me. Please. No. Is it worth it? No. It's not. It's not. You're right. How can we degrade ourselves into such an inhumane, heartless state of being by supporting these cruel, heart-wrenching practices? I ask myself, how can we justify causing that much suffering to another being when the alternative is so easy, affordable, and at hand and healthy? I hope it is clear that the best and really the only way is to be vegan. This lifts the immense burden of suffering and murdering the innocent from our hearts. It can enhance our connection with animals also. The human caregivers at a New Zealand animal sanctuary say that the naturally vegetarian donkeys, they're vegetarian, yes. And there, they make friends with vegetarian humans visitors faster than with the meat eaters. Because they feel safer without the smell of meat. So the animals, they do know. My dogs, for example, my dog. I have even a Rottweiler. You know Rottweiler reputation, right? Yeah, okay. Whenever I took him to our group meditation places, you can see it on video also. I'm not making story to glorify my dog. His name is Goody. When I adopted him, I said, Goody, your race is a Rottweiler. And I heard that you don't have good reputation as a race of dog. So I named you Goody, and you're going to be a very good dog so that you can redeem the reputation of the Rottweiler. Wait, it's okay, huh? So I named him Goody, and he's very good ever since. Whenever I bring him to our group meditation, you know our group is all vegetarian, all vegan, a meditation and all that. Supposed to be good, no killing, no drinking, no gambling, no for adultery, no stealing, no lying, yeah? You know that. So whenever he go into this group of people, no matter thousands or hundreds, he run around them, licking them all over and asking them to hold his hand or hug him or jump on them, whatever. He does that to numerous of people, whoever. Men, women, children, and old and young alike. Because he feel good. Safe there, I reckon. Now, You don't have to be animal communicator to see this, that he feels good within our group. Now, when I took him out, sometimes in a restaurant, which is a non-vegetarian restaurant, it's difficult to find always in my travel the vegetarian restaurant, but I go in there to eat vegetarian. And I sometimes encourage my people to go in a non-vegetarian restaurant to eat vegetarian food, to remind them to keep cooking more and more vegetarian for more people. Because vegetarian restaurant, they already know. So I went often into a non-vegetarian restaurant if I have to go out. Then sometimes I bring my dog. Whatever dog I bring. Okay, now we talk about Rottweiler. We talk about that race. Yeah, he's been so good with hundreds or thousands of my association members whenever he's among them. But I bring him out just into a non-vegetarian restaurant. And the owner of the restaurant, because he knew me, he came and talked to me. He just go just like 2 meters near me only. He jumped right in the middle between me and the owner of the restaurant. The owner is still alive. If you want, I can ask him. He jumped right in the middle and sit up straight and look at him and growl at him already. Growling only. I said, no, don't do that. So the Rottweiler was quiet. Then the man think he could approach me a little further. He just take one more step and he stood up. The Rottweiler stood up and said, no more. He protects me that much. But among hundreds or thousands of my people, he never does anything to them. He go and licking them all over and, pawing them and hugging them. My God, you have to see it to believe. Well, all my people are still alive. You can ask them. The animals do know. I know that from my dogs. All the dogs are the same. All the dogs are the same. Now, one of the other dogs, called Hamid, he's an Australian shepherd. He's also very protective. Now, when he goes among our group, or the vegetarian, he also let them, he's normally very shy. He only knows family member. But when he goes out, he's very shy. But when he goes to our group, if I tell him, Hamid, never mind, go let people touch you because they love you. And then he go. He go around and let people touch him. And then he come back, sit next to me. Yes, fine. But if I go outside and take this dog with me, even to a bank, he's not growling like that. He's shy. But the bank people see him so beautiful, blue eyes and a very beautiful dog. So he wants to touch, and he doesn't want them to touch. He hide behind me immediately. Whenever that person approaches, he just run behind my back and hide. He doesn't want to be aggressive because I told him not to, but he doesn't want to be touched by the meat eater. I'm sorry if I offend anyone. But in my group, he let everybody touch him. These are true story. And now, we must know that animals really understand who is who. So if we know all this, we cannot support further the meat industry because there's mass murder. In our society, we only kill someone when he done something wrong. And nowadays, many countries already abolish death penalty. And even if a death sentence prisoner, they have their own cell and they have clean food, clean water. They're not treated the way we treat our animals, friend. This is really not humane at all. Oh, please stop all this. Please tell everybody else to stop all this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Supreme Master Ching Hai, for reminding us how noble our animal friends are and how they contribute to the loving balance of this world.
Our next question comes from Marisol Varela, a freelance journalist with the Examiner newspaper in Orlando, Florida. A vegetarian herself, she is an advocate of the vegetarian lifestyle and has written many articles to encourage people to embrace it.
Yes, good evening, Supreme Master. I'm very happy to be here and to have been invited to this event and to have the opportunity to go back home and inform everyone who didn't have the same opportunity as me about all the benefits that come from living in this healthy lifestyle.
Thank you.
With that in mind, I have a question for you. I recently noticed that there is more and more positive and constructive media happening around the world.
That's
And
right.
there are websites that provide only the good news and television stations as well. So with that in mind, can you please share with us your thoughts and the role of the media in transforming society? Thank you.
Of course, they are powerful, Miss Varela. The media has a very important role in our society. Everybody knows that. The printed words are very powerful. People are too busy with their daily activities, so they look to the media for informing and reporting relevant events, important matters, and all necessary information for their lives. So the media is a useful tool to awaken one another at this crucial time, a time when our planet and the lives on it are in danger. That's why I'm so glad to see many television and radio channels starting to broadcast about the urgent situation of our planet and even the solution of vegan diet, which is the switch, that we have to make. Very small change. A piece of meat out, vegetarian protein in. That's it. Just a small change. Everyone can afford. And it's cheaper, healthier. And Supreme Master Television is there as well to contribute and to inform the people in this endeavor. Just recently, Lord Stern in the UK made a statement that the vegetarian diet is better than a meat diet for halting climate change. And the world media came to discuss the topic more actively, almost on every station. And then the Australian and American television channels interview former U.S. Vice President and the Nobel Prize laureate, Mr. Al Gore. You know, right? Our hero. You know him. Everyone knows him by now. Yes. They asked him, the journalists, the reporters, asked Mr. Al Gore to talk about the vegetarian solution as a mean to halt global warming, which he recognized as important in curbing global warming. He recognized that. He said that he cut back on animals' diet very sharply. And he said that vegetarian diet definitely is a solution to curb global warming. So the media helps a lot to point people in the direction of the solution. In fact, the most urgent role of the media right now is to become vegan themselves, compassionate, noble, and doing good deeds, and to inform people of this urgent action. They should be an example, the media. Now we also see that the public is responding with enthusiasm to spiritual topics like meditation, yoga, alternative living, vegetarianism. Yeah, they want to know more about science and spirituality. We are, as a race, the whole humanity, becoming more spiritually minded and reaching beyond just the limited, ephemeral physical realm for something greater, nobler, and higher. I'm so glad we are in this trend. Yeah. And the media is a huge, huge help in reminding people to go in this upward direction. But still, our evolution has been a bit too slow, don't you think?
Yes.
It's too slow,
Yes.
So, I also look for hope in the good media people such as yourself, Miss Beautiful. And if I may humbly urge you to encourage people through your work to become vegan, to save human lives, animals' lives, and the environment. Because the vegan diet, though simple, is the giant stepping stone that would bring us higher in our evolution. Besides, time is running out for our planet. We must act fast to save lives. So the media has a very great, heroic, noble role to save the world at this moment in our history. And while saving lives, The media also can save the loving, noble quality in human heart as well. Do you see how great and noble the role of the media is? Thank you, Ms. Varela, for being a vegetarian yourself. God bless you and your company.
Thank you, Master Ching Hai, for the scope of your vision and for your pioneering role in the creation of Supreme Master Television.
Some of the benefits of a vegetarian diet: lowers blood pressure, lowers cholesterol levels, reduces type 2 diabetes, prevents stroke conditions, reverses atherosclerosis, reduces heart disease risk 50%, reduces heart surgery risk 80%, prevents many forms of cancer. Stronger immune system, increases life expectancy up to 15 years. Higher IQ, saves 70% of a total cost of $40 trillion for reducing global warming, uses 4.5 times less land to grow food, conserves up to 70% clean water, saves 80% of the cleared Amazonian rainforest from animal grazing. A solution for world hunger. Free up 3.4 billion hectares of land. Free up 760 million tons of grain every year, or half the world's grain supply. Consumes 1/3 fossil fuels of those used for meat production. Reduces pollution from untreated animal waste. Maintains cleaner air. Saves 4.5 tons of emissions per U.S. household per year. Stop 80% of global warming. Plus more. Save your life. Be veg. Go green.
I hear the message clearly in regard to the impact of animal husbandry, of animal farming on the environment, and I believe that most who are here already converts to that idea. So it certainly was very useful for me to hear that message myself. I'm very impressed with the work that she's doing, because ultimately it's about the future, and the future is our children, and they are at risk, at significant risk. They're at risk by virtue of the diets that are imposed on them, and so I think it's very important that all this kind of information be made available to as many people as possible.
Ken, what was your impression of the event today?
It's a very positive message that methane is also one of the greenhouse gases that you need to be concerned about.
And what was your impression of what Supreme Master Ching Hai had to say?
She seems like a very beautiful lady and very positive about what the individual can accomplish by, maybe taking a vegetarian burger instead of a meat burger to start off with. I gave up coffee a couple years ago, so maybe I'll start on vegetarian food.
We enjoyed your presence today for the rebroadcast of the live video conference, Humanity's Leap to the Golden Era, Washington, D.C. Climate Change Conference, with guest of honor, Supreme Master Ching Hai. Join us again tomorrow for Part 9. A Journey Through Aesthetic Realms is up next after Noteworthy News here on Supreme Master Television. With God's grace, may your life flourish and bloom in joy and peace.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/WOW.